It's coming up for D-Day for veteran chef Neil Perry. 47 years in the business with many successful award-winning restaurants under his belt, but now perhaps his biggest challenge yet.
There's still so much time.
The opening of his dream Chinese restaurant called Songbird. The 250-seat Songbird and its speakeasy bar Bobby's are Neil's grand vision, echoing the Chinese restaurant experiences in his youth.
Soft serve is another thing that's going to be great. We're going to have really beautiful flavours of soft serve ice cream.
Today, more than 40 chefs and waiters have arrived to start their training, as Songbird will open to the public in 13 days' time.
All you guys will get a chance to do some wok frying together.
In this new state-of-the-art kitchen, they will produce hundreds of dumplings every night.
We also make sure when we're cooking with the woks, we just make sure we wipe the bottom of it, and if we spill anything in here, we make sure we wipe it out, otherwise it can carbonise.
Neil Perry's fame skyrocketed in the 1990s after the global success of his award-winning restaurant Rockpool in Sydney. He was part of the rise of the celebrity chef, no longer anonymous, their faces gracing the covers of best-selling magazines and cookbooks. In the last few years, Neil Perry has won major awards for his restaurant Margaret, just around the corner from Songbird.
The chives don't take long at all, just a couple of minutes on each side.
So the expectations on this new venture from food reviewers will be extremely high.
Look, it's really tough. I mean, it's something we've gotten used to since social media's been so big. I mean, they're in the business of selling newspapers, so of course they want what the latest and greatest is. But it is a lot of pressure. I mean, Songbird and Bobby's is a $13 million project, at which Sam and I have put our house on the line for that. And, you know, I actually joke around, but I keep saying to her, well, by Christmas, we'll either be planning holidays next year or be selling the house. But it is that serious that, you know, if that restaurant went sideways, you know, it could be the end of us.
The day starts early at the Rain and LaRue restaurant in Melbourne. Group Executive Chef Jacqui Challinor arrives to set up the dining room, a former stock exchange in the 1800s. Just 12 months old and already named Restaurant of the Year in 2024. It is now one of the most Instagrammed dining rooms in Melbourne.
One of my favourites.
At the age of 38,
Very good. Keep stirring.
Jacqui is one of the few female chefs in charge of a high-end restaurant. Every ingredient, the result of painstaking research and taste testing.
The butter that we source is probably one of my favourite things on the menu, which is probably ridiculous to say. And it is the best butter I've ever had in my life. I could eat it with a spoon.
Jacqui's love of cooking was passed down from her family, especially her mother. Often, Sunday lunches were a big shared table of Maltese dishes. In 2007, Jacqui began her meteoric rise in Sydney, making it to head chef of Nomad in 7 years.
In the beginning, when you're a little baby chef, it's a physical stress, right? And I think back in the day as well, it was hours and that pressure on your body. So, you know, I'd be doing 4 or 5 doubles back to back, and that was just the norm in the industry. So you'd be rolling on 4 or 5 hours sleep a night, and you know, you're in the heat and the stress of it all.
The physical stress and long hours started to have an effect on Jacqui's mental health. And making everything more intense was the constant reviewing and attention from the media.
I was in this role in a restaurant that had a lot of publicity attached to it. It had only been open for a year. It was kind of the hot new thing at the time. And then the food's yours. And you've got the media looking at you, and you've got food reviewers looking at you, and you've got a team of people underneath you. And all you know is what you've learnt in kitchens, which is not, like, chefs notoriously probably aren't the best people managers. So that was stress like I've never understood. I didn't know how to manage it.
Jacqui turned to alcohol to help ease her anxiety.
Thursday through to Saturday, you would just drink. At the end of a big week, you would just blow it all out the window on a Sunday night. It's such a common thing you hear after a hard service. I need a drink, let's go get a drink. And I think we medicate that stress and we think that that is the pressure valve, and it's not.
When COVID arrived, Jacqui decided to stop drinking. Chefs and their hospitality staff were hit hard with financial stress. Some never recovered. When restaurants opened again, the strain and pressure, this time without alcohol, caused Jacqui to have a breakdown.
I didn't realise how much I was relying on it to hide the stress, I guess. So I broke. I've never been that low in my life. I didn't want to be in hospitality anymore. I was having panic attacks. I've never had panic attacks in my life. My brain, my body didn't know how to deal with work and the pressures of work without that.
She thought about quitting, but the owners of her restaurant told her to take time off.
I had 2 months off when that happened to me. I wouldn't still be doing this job if I didn't.
Jacqui now works half the hours she used to, and she has strengthened the alcohol at work policy.
You know, I've worked in restaurants before where it's an open fridge policy and you just end up going down the rabbit hole. It's just a recipe for disaster. So we do Friday, Saturday nights. Everybody gets 1 drink each.
Even though alcohol was now under control, the barrage of social media reviews took their toll.
La ruined my night. Worst steaks I have
Happily
ever
dine
had.
here on the weekly. 5 stars.
Rancid seafood smell.
16 out of 20.
Medium.
The experience is magical.
The things that were coming through, it was sending me crazy. I just couldn't, it was hurtful to see it. And do you know, like, for every negative review, there's 5 positive ones. They are the rarity, but it's controversy, right? You're going into a #1 restaurant in the world and telling everybody that it's not and it's rubbish and you should never go there. It's clickbait. It's like they're trying to antagonize. I'm like, if you're writing bad things about a product that I've curated and you're tagging me, like, what makes you think that I want to see this on my personal Instagram account? It's trolling.
Jacqui worked out a way to stop her obsessive focus on the negative reviews, with the aim of also helping her staff.
A lot of the guys will print off a couple of the reviews and stick them on our little notice board just for everyone to see them, but you can't just put a negative one up there, you've got to put a positive. And it was actually something I spoke about with my psychologist. I was like, how do I get this out of my brain? And she said, you need to sandwich it with 2 good things on either side just to try and shift that narrative and remind yourself that there is more good than the negative.